In this second part of the Godalming series, we uncover a tale so bizarre it even stunned surgeons. The woman who fooled the king, shocked the royal court, and made herself briefly famous across England. This woman claimed to give birth to rabbits, the king's own doctor that was swept up in the scandal, and also the medical profession that was left humiliated by this grotesque lie. Join me as I trace the steps of Mary Toft, the illiterate servant girl of Godalming who pulled off one of the most outrageous hoaxes in British medical history. This is a story of deception, desperation, and lots of dead rabbits. This is The Rabbit Woman of Godalming, the Great Rabbit Birth Hoax of 1726.
It's late September 1726. In Godalming, Surrey, local surgeon John Howard is called to the bedside of Mary Toft. Mary and her mother-in-law, Anne Toft, claim Mary recently miscarried, but bizarrely she has now delivered pig guts. Within weeks, Mary will apparently give birth to over a dozen rabbits. Her story catches the attention of eminent medical men, some attending on King George. Surprisingly, these doctors will believe her even after repeated examinations. One attending doctor described her as of a healthy, strong constitution, but of a very stupid and sullen temper. She can neither read nor write. Her story begins on April 23, 1726. Mary, then 23 and pregnant, was weeding when a rabbit ran past. After this, she developed a constant craving for rabbit meat, but was too poor to buy it. 17 weeks later, she miscarried in August. Then, on September 27th, the truly bizarre began. Mary was taken ill and delivered of what appeared to be pig guts. Her husband took them to John Howard, who, a few days later, delivered her of more animal parts. As October began, Mary started apparently giving birth to pieces of dead rabbit at a prodigious rate. Howard, now moving her to Guildford for convenience, wrote to Nathaniel St. Andre, the royal anatomist. In a letter, Howard claimed to have delivered 3 more rabbits in 3 days, with one leaped 23 hours in the uterus before it died. He even invited curious persons to witness a live birth. On November 15th, St. Andre and Samuel Molyneux, the Prince of Wales's secretary, travelled to Guildford. St. Andre himself delivered her of the entire trunk of a rabbit of about 4 months' growth. This and further examinations made St. Andre a believer. He concluded rabbits were bred in her fallopian tubes, though there was no explanation for their conception. Mary continued to deliver rabbit parts, sometimes skinned, of varying colours. St. Andre even found fish remains in one gut. More unsettling, some parts were from a cat, and the rabbits smelled like they were freshly killed. On November 20th, Royal Surgeon Cyriacus Ahlers was dispatched. Howard initially denied him access to Mary. When finally allowed in, Ahlers noted Mary's remarkably good humour, laughing through pains and walking oddly, as if something might fall out. Despite Howard's assurances against fraud, Ahlers apparently decided it was a genuine human rabbit pregnancy. He even promised to speak to the king about a pension for Mary. On November 27th, St. Andre wrote to Sir Richard Manningham, a fellow Royal Society member, to discuss Mary's case. Arriving in Guildford, Manningham examined her. She didn't look pregnant, though a painful lump was present. He tried to induce the leaping motions and felt them himself, shaking the bed. That evening, Manningham removed a piece of what he believed to be hog's bladder. When he expressed doubt, Mary cried, "Because she supposed I thought her a cheat." Manningham insisted on fraud, disputing St. Andre. On November 29th, Mary was brought to London. Manningham sought Dr. James Douglas's opinion, confirming his belief that it was a cheat. Under watch in London, Mary had pains but delivered nothing. She became an object of immense curiosity. Lord Hervey wrote that every creature in town had been to see and feel her. Mary endured countless intrusive, painful examinations, a remarkable commitment to her deception. Then, on December 4th, came the first crack. A porter, where Mary was staying, reported Mary secretly obtained a rabbit from him. She was arrested. Her sister claimed it was for eating, but Mary soon changed her story to match. Manningham intervened, wanting her strictly observed to reveal the fraud. On December 6th, Mary was threatened with a painful experiment. and told by nobles and doctors that she must confess. Finally, on December 7th, she cracked. Mary made a full confession. She admitted a real miscarriage, after which an unnamed accomplice conveyed animal parts, a monster of cat claws and rabbit head, into her uterus. She stated that after this nothing was put into her womb, but into the passage only by the advice of a woman accomplice who told her she had now no occasion to work for her living and promised to continually supply her with rabbits. The accomplice told her she needed to produce enough parts for a normal litter, otherwise she would be suspected. Mary inserted rabbit bits, causing pain and swelling and feigned labour pains and the leaping motions. Mary's confession, though coerced, is generally accepted. Her accomplice changed in her stories: a knife-grinder's wife, her mother-in-law, Anne Toft, and even John Howard. Anne and John seem most likely, given their access and knowledge. Mary's husband, Joshua, also played a part. Residents of Godalming deposed that Joshua bought rabbits from them, even small, poor-quality ones. He seemed unconcerned by Mary's apparent suffering, suggesting he knew it was a sham. Mary was prosecuted as a cheat and impostor, briefly incarcerated. She was released after 4 months and returned home. St. Andre, Ehlers and others were intensely ridiculed. St. Andre apologized. Dr. Douglas wrote an account, denying Manningham's claims and stating he always suspected fraud. Ehlers also tried to limit reputational damage, implying Howard's involvement. How could so many be so comprehensively duped? There was no modern medicine. Anatomy was understood, but bodily processes were not. Ancient superstitions, like a pregnant woman's thoughts affecting the child, still prevailed. This, more than anything, explains why some believed Mary could be carrying rabbits. Her story attracted attention for centuries. It was the subject of scathing cartoons, like those by William Hogarth. One preacher even claimed it was a sign of the impending apocalypse. To me, the only miraculous thing was Mary avoiding a fatal infection. It's hard to judge her true agency. Was she the instigator, or pulled along by others seeking financial gain through her suffering with the promise of that pension from the king? It's difficult to imagine anyone willingly enduring such a painful and humiliating sham. And yet stranger things have happened.
Coming up in the next episode of the Godalming Series. Titanic's last voice, the hero who made one fatal mistake. Was he a hero, or was it one fateful decision that contributed to the Titanic's sinking? Join me as I follow the life and final transmissions of Jack Phillips, Godalming's own Titanic operator. This is a story of technology, one fatal mistake with devastating consequences, and a young man's race against time in the freezing Atlantic.